Welcome back to another episode of Clock Management. We are going to be doing some big takes today, and I know it's been a while, but without further ado, what is up?
And today, I'm going to start us off here. And on our last podcast, I made a take that I big time regret, and I said that the New York Jets were going to win the AFC East. Since then, a lot has changed. Biggest one being Jamal Adams requested trade. That makes their defense get significantly worse. He's great at safety. He's great when he lines up in the box as a linebacker. He's kind of a hybrid deal. He's incredible. And Cam Newton's obviously on the Patriots. So I now have the Patriots winning that division. I apologize for that take on the last episode. If y'all still want to flame me for it, that's okay. I can
Definitely
take
gonna flame you for it.
That's okay.
Apology accepted, though.
Even without Cam Newton and without with Jamal Adams, the Jets is still a bad take. But
That's okay.
Yeah.
We'll never know. We'll literally never know because Jamal Adams is probably not going to be on there, and Cam Newton's on the Patriots.
I think we all do have the Patriots now, though.
Yeah,
Because
because you do
both
too,
of them
right?
already did, and
Yeah.
now I do. I think Cam is just way better than Josh Allen. I think
Yeah,
he's gonna have over.
that's scary.
Yeah.
He's a good fit. The biggest problem with Cam recently has been his arm strength's not very good. Like, he's
'Cause
lost a lot of that.
he's
His
injured
D-back
all
is-
the
And his
time.
durability.
Yeah.
But if they keep it short with him like they do with Brady, I think that offense is going to get rolling.
I agree. They're going to run him a little bit, but still try to keep him healthy.
I think McDaniels has wanted a running quarterback for a while. I think that's why they looked into drafting Lamar. If you
Makes
remember, they
sense.
gave him an interview.
Wow.
They also traded up in that draft. Everyone thought it could have been Lamar, but
Who was it?
Who did
Isaiah
they go?
Wynn,
He
offensive
hasn't
tackle
even-
from Georgia.
Yeah, he hasn't even played much, has he?
He was hurt
I know
all
he
of his
hurt his
rookie year, and he
rookie
played a little bit last year. But
Talking about not playing much, how is Stidham feeling right now?
Did y'all
Hey,
see that
hey,
thing that
he's-
anonymous AFC East coach said that he was going to start?
Yeah. Idiot.
The amount of
Over
smoke
Cam.
blown up.
Who do y'all think it was?
Blown
Who do
up
y'all
his
think
own
it
arse?
was?
There's no telling. I don't know.
I can't
Reese,
tell.
let's hear them Cam Newton stats.
Well, there's not much to it, really. I mean, if you want the touchdown to interception career ratio, 182 to 108, nothing special about that. Only been an All-Pro once, his MVP season.
That's kind of crazy.
I figured he'd have it at least twice.
68, 55, and 1 in his career, so nothing really pops out about him.
To
Other
be
than
fair
that
about
one
the
year.
All-Pro thing, though, it's like a player choice thing, and it's kind of bullcrap. Like,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys don't like Cam.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
a lot
it.
of people do like Cam, but a lot of guys don't like him. So
I think it's more of a fan thing. I think a lot of fans like Cam. A lot of players don't.
yeah.
Let's not forget, 2015, the year they went 15-1, Cam Newton was legitimately the best player in the NFL. Like, that was a
Absolutely.
real
100%.
thing that everybody's forgotten about. Now, I know a lot's changed since then. He's been hurt a lot. Not the same quarterback he was then, but the potential is obviously there, whether he's old. We've seen him do it before, though.
Yeah, that boy Cole, boy.
Auburn alum.
Absolutely.
You just got to love it. Just big, explosive, exciting running quarterbacks.
Also, the
what
first
everyone likes
Patriot to
seeing.
wear number one.
First
he said.
Patriot
Yeah,
to
Penny.
ever wear number one.
Which is
How's he going to
kind
rock
of
it?
a wild stat.
Yeah.
I think he'll rock it with style.
I
do.
agree.
Reason he wears number 1 is because Jimmy Clausen wore number 2. I swear.
What?
Yeah,
Jimmy Clausen wore 2
Yeah, in Carolina. I
That's
remember
wild.
when he got drafted.
That. Mm-hmm.
That's
All right,
pretty
so y'all ready to move on to the next topic?
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
go
let's
ahead.
head right
That was
into
a short
college
one.
football. Let's talk about college football here with the Pac-12, the Big Ten, and the ACC. All conferences going to a conference-only schedule in the 2020 season. Let's talk about it, Cog.
I think it really hurts some like these lower SEC teams that have had decent success the past couple of years. For example, Kentucky, like they go from being a above average football team to probably losing a lot of games now.
Yeah.
Because I mean, straight SEC, they're
You're
going to
taking
struggle.
away like 3 of their wins.
Yeah, and then 4 of their wins probably.
4?
Yeah, because you're taking what? Yeah, and maybe more than that. Like it
You
hurts
got
them
Louisville,
bad.
obviously.
Yeah,
yeah.
the SEC is going to be a straight gauntlet this year. I mean, we all know that.
I think there's not a single SEC team. We were talking about this before. Like I don't think any of them go undefeated now.
We all have different winners, right?
Yeah.
Who do you
probably.
have?
I think, dude, I low key think Texas A&M can make a run at
See,
it.
I like that a
on,
lot.
no.
It's weird.
Now I don't think they'll. Okay, I'm not saying they'll win, but I think they have a good shot. I
Yeah.
really do.
'Cause
I
I've got
don't buy the
LSU.
hype
I know
thing,
Jack
man.
has Auburn. Reese
I-
has Alabama.
I like Auburn a lot too. I don't like Bama this year. I'm not a Bama.
I'm not a big
guy.
Bama fan. I think the SEC championship could consist of 2 or 3 West teams and only 2 East teams, which the 2 in the East is Georgia and Florida. I think whoever wins that game is in the SEC
and the
championship.
thing is, Georgia and Florida, like, not only can they lose to each other? There's a few teams in the East who could knock them off.
That's true.
still
Just the
we saw
one
South
game.
Carolina beat Georgia
Also,
last year.
we don't know if Jamie Newman's going to be good in the
That's
SEC.
true.
We have no
Exactly.
clue.
I think Florida is the most proven team coming into the season. They get their quarterback back, who's arguably, which the SEC doesn't have great quarterbacks this year, but he's arguably the best quarterback in the SEC this upcoming year.
Overrated.
Florida's got a
Garbage.
I'm not.
Garbage.
I think he's a little overrated, but
Hey, that
he's,
boy Bo Nix, though, Heron. Am
yes,
I
sir.
right?
Yes, sir. Bo Nix, baby.
Hey, that boy Bryce Young, Penny.
That boy Bryson Young.
The backup quarterback at Bama.
Yeah, but I
Not
think
for long.
I think there's a couple teams in the West that can contend. Obviously, LSU, Bama, Auburn, maybe A&M. I think those are the four main ones. I'm not a big A&M guy at all.
See, it's whether or not you like Kellen Mond, basically.
Yeah,
Because Jimbo's a good coach.
Yeah, Jimbo is a good coach. I'm I'm not a big fan of A&M this upcoming year, just because I think they're just a little overrated.
Now-
And they have been for the years that Jimbo's been there.
Disregarding obviously Clemson makes the playoff. Like, that's happening,
Oh, yeah.
especially now. Like, they're not even – North Carolina's probably their biggest competition.
Their
Louisville.
second biggest
Louisville has
competition is Louisville.
– yeah, because
Third.
Louisville can put up
Maybe
points.
I hate to say it, like I don't like them at all, and I don't think they're good. But Notre Dame, out of the
Okay,
other,
yeah.
Do they
out of the
play
other
Notre
Oh,
Dame
ACC
now?
also,
teams-
let's not forget Miami has a quarterback now.
yeah, Miami's a team.
Miami could actually
Miami
do something.
is a
People
football
forget about
team
Miami.
now.
Yeah,
I forget
yeah.
about
Miami is kind of
I'm a big
forgotten,
fan of Miami
especially-
this upcoming year. They have a good defense, and they actually have a quarterback that can play football.
They have one of the
Yeah,
best
the-
players in the nation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tate
Yeah.
Martell.
Two of the
No.
best, two of the best players in the nation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Miami
they-
could
they
be
should
decent.
Like one on each side of the ball.
Mhm.
And then the Big Ten commissioner came out today and basically said he doesn't even know if they'll play at all,
Yeah,
which I think
he's
is
blowing
smoke. Yeah,
That's
I
scary.
think I don't know about that.
I
but
don't know that he could cancel Ohio State versus Michigan and live.
Yeah, and from a political standpoint, I know we don't talk about this on the show, but Ohio is one of the biggest, states right now with coronavirus cases. I mean, I think that's why their governor came out and said, they were even surprised that they've even came out and said that they're playing football this year. So I don't know. And the other states up in the the Northeast and like Penn State and Michigan and all them, like I don't know how their virus situation is, but and I think they have the worst of it all right now is the Big Ten because a couple of them teams were playing some good teams. I know for a fact Ohio State and Oregon was playing.
Yeah,
that
Michigan
canceled
played
out,
Washington, I think.
Yeah,
I think
Michigan
that
played
was- yeah.
Washington, and one team played Notre Dame, I think. I forgot. But, that ruins a lot. Michigan comes out and they play Washington, who could be a ranked team. That hurts their
The
schedule.
Ohio State Oregon one's
Yeah, that's
pretty
big for both schools.
Like that might be.
Especially
Ohio
for
State-
Oregon. That's more
Yeah.
big for Oregon.
Oh, absolutely.
Because if Ohio State wins out, they're in the playoff.
Yeah.
But say
Oregon goes
Oregon,
into
a Pac-12 team.
yeah, if they
and
lose
it's
a
like,
game,
well,
in
their
the
one
Pac-12.
loss is to Ohio State. They're in.
Yeah.
Yeah. A Pac-12 team, they have to prove stuff every year, which they haven't really done great in the playoff, with Washington being the only school, right?
Right.
Who's
Oregon.
been in it.
Oregon made with Mariota.
Yeah,
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 they made
okay.
Hey,
it.
they did they
They
win
that
a
the
game?
No,
No.
they won one. Yeah, they played in the championship.
Yeah, they
against,
beat
Maybe-
Jameis. When
yeah,
Jameis,
because
like,
when
threw it
Jameis
behind
threw
his
it,
head.
yeah,
Slipped
he
and fell and
slipped and
fumbled,
fell,
yeah.
whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah,
They
Then they got
that
busted in
iconic
the
play.
championship.
played Ohio State. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the Pac-12 they have a lot to prove every year. That game definitely hurts Oregon more than it does Ohio State. But then again, that's a good win for Ohio State to see where they are as a football program.
I always like watching the Big 12 play some SEC squads, which is kind of sad that we don't get to watch that. I was ready to watch some. We're still going to get to see it, obviously. But Oklahoma State, I'm really high on them this year. I really
Okay.
like Oklahoma
I want
State.
you to talk more about this.
I really like Oklahoma State. I do
How
too.
much? Like, how high are you willing to go on this?
I think they can compete with Oklahoma at the top of the conference.
They have talent.
And,
they
I mean,
have the best running back
Texas
and
is
the best
really good,
shooter,
too.
Maybe.
Yeah, best running
Alan
back
Wallace.
for sure.
Oh, for sure.
And then receivers, it's a
Alan
toss
Wallace
up.
is a real,
Oh yeah, he's real deal.
threat.
Like Jamal Chase is obviously he's top of the list too. But
I'm talking like in the conference.
oh, just
though.
in the conference, he probably is the number one in the conference.
I'm trying to think.
I would think.
Yeah, Oklahoma's got. Who's their number one? I know
They have guys.
Hazelwood.
They
I know
always
they
have
They
have
got
guys.
new guys every year.
Yeah,
Texas will have guys too. They have athletes out there every year.
I think
you know.
those are your three teams in the Big 12. I think Baylor's not very good.
No, Baylor has a lot to prove.
I
they
mean,
got a
they'll
new
be-
coach.
they'll
They
probably-
Not
lost
the
a lot.
same. Not
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
same.
they're
Lost a
not that
lot.
top tier.
Which they brought in Dave Aranda, who was LSU's D coordinator. So
Good hire. I
Yeah,
mean,
good hire.
To lose Matt Rule, who I am so high on, I love him as a head coach, but that's a good replacement. He's a steady defensive guy.
Yeah, I think Aranda, he'll. It's hard to say this. Big 12's so heavily involved in offense. Aranda's a defensive guy, so
That
I'd
is
like to
the
see.
one
I'd like to see what Baylor does.
I hope they
defensively.
start kind of like kind of like a yin yang type deal. Like they start trying to build that defense up to try to stop these offenses.
Yeah, I'd like to see that, but it's
nobody's
so
ever
hard to
done that,
recruit
so we don't
defense
know.
in the Big 12 anyway.
Oh, of course.
And they have to compete in Texas with Texas, Texas A&M, Texas Tech, LSU. Auburn came in and dipped a couple guys out of Texas. I mean,
Did you
Texas
say
is such a
LSU?
LSU dips in Texas all the time.
Oh,
Like
LSU
recruit,
did that.
I thought you
recruiting
had-
wise.
They honey dip.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Recruiting wise, they go in and get a lot
Yeah,
of guys out of
TCU
Texas
too.
and TCU as well. So yeah, that's
I do feel like it makes the biggest change in the SEC though, just because SEC is so top to bottom good, where a lot of these other
Or
conferences.
Ohio State, Clemson.
Yeah, it's like you know who's going to be at the top in these.
Yeah.
Other, like Oklahoma, Oregon, Clemson, Ohio State. Like,
Are
you know that
heavy favorites.
they're going to be very heavy favorites. Where in the SEC there's like 4 to 5
What,
teams this
is it
year.
Different winner the last 3 years.
Yeah, I mean you're gonna have a different guy. I mean I don't even know who. Like I couldn't even tell you who my team in the East is right now because even I think,
I can't either.
yeah, like
Because I don't
and the
see
West
a lot of
is
people
even
like
more
Trask
complicated.
and Newman,
Yeah,
and I don't like either of those guys that much.
I
Yeah,
saw a
I
list where
agree.
Trask was the 10th best player in the SEC.
10th best player.
Oh
Yeah,
my lord.
My
So
guy,
obviously that means they thought he was the best quarterback too. I don't even know about that.
our producer Andrew Melton brought up a stat to me the other day about Georgia's defense. What was it? I think it was
Let's
like
give them a minute.
10 returning players or something
Yeah,
crazy.
Georgia's defense is going to be crazy anyway, and they recruit so good on that side of the ball anyway. So it's
Georgia's always going to have a defense.
Yeah.
Now,
And
if
here's the
Jamie
thing.
Newman comes out and he's good, then I think they're definitely my favorite to win the East.
I would say the favorite to win the SEC if Jamie Newman's good at football.
That's
All
probably
right,
true,
I've got the
honestly.
stat right here. The amount of defensive production returning at Georgia this upcoming season is set at 80%.
That's pretty good.
so let's bring
I
back
mean,
what nine guys at least.
And like they shut down Florida
Nine to
last
10.
year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Do you
and-
really think that Florida's going to score on them this year?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
They
know.
just need
It's
Newman
tough.
to be just decent all
Yeah.
year. Just
They also-
barely get by. and
I'm
they'll
not
be
even
fine.
blaming it all on Fromm last year. Like I think they just need to switch a little bit, something up on offense. But-
Yeah, and Kirby Smart, their head coach, he's defensive oriented anyway. So they're going to be top notch anyway on the defensive side of the ball.
Imagine not keeping Justin Fields.
Oh,
It is what it is.
all for Jake.
Oh,
Fromm.
trust me, as a Michigan fan, I really wish they would have.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
So,
It
right now,
is what it is.
so right now, the only Power 5 conference besides the Big 12 is the SEC, who has not changed their conference only schedule. Right? Am I correct?
Those two, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And Big 12 they've been voicing that they're playing football this year with all fans. So I'd like to see what they do. But if you think about it, their non-conference schedule is probably teams in the other three, in the Pac-12, the Big 10.
Oh
and
yeah,
the
it's
ACC.
hard to like once one of them did it.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard for you not to follow
Right.
that.
I agree.
Which
Kinda
Auburn
all
week 2 they played North Carolina. They cannot.
That would've
no
been a
longer
big
do
game
that.
for
They can't do
them.
that, yeah.
That's
a
scary.
Big game for both teams.
We talked about it before the show a little bit. The little programs that play these teams, like, for example, you're gonna hate this, Cog. When Appalachian State played Michigan,
Right, in like 2007.
and
yeah, it's the
they
biggest-
gave them a bag
yeah.
to come play them, and then Appalachian State obviously won. That was just an example. Teams, I mean, they do that yearly.
Yeah.
You pay a team a bag to come get their tail whooped.
Yeah,
normally.
pretty much.
That probably won't be happening this year.
Mm-mm.
So a lot of
those
little
teams,
programs
yeah.
probably gonna struggle.
Especially App State, they're a more well-known program now, but
Yeah,
at the
that-
time they were like
That's
no
like
names,
the
yeah.
most.
For example, I
A
know
team like
famous
the
example I know.
Citadel.
the Citadel or like Alcorn State. I know they play
Yeah.
Auburn week 1. I mean, they're probably getting paid $1.5 million, maybe even more than that, or
And it's
less.
probably
than
not gonna happen now.
that. No, it's not going to
It's
happen.
definitely
so,
not.
Crazy.
You
Which
know,
sucks
it
for
hurts.
those teams.
Yeah.
I mean, even though they go to get their butt handed to them, I
That
mean,
gives
at
Auburn an
least they
easy
get the
win,
bag.
and it gives someone else a lot of money.
And it's not like they expect to win those games.
No.
Like they know.
No,
It's
not
whatever.
at all.
We
We're gonna switch our topic here to the NBA. What's going on around the NBA? Gib.
All right, so
I do have one quick topic about the NBA that's not related to actual basketball.
Okay.
Have y'all seen the food that they're giving the players in the bubble?
It's
like
kinda- yeah.
J.R. Smith was on a live yesterday.
I saw that.
this
They
thing.
made him get
and
off.
and the NBA made him get off the live because they saw he was showing people the food.
I mean,
and
those
they
are
were
like
embarrassed.
Lunchables that kindergartners.
and you're
bring
expecting 6'9", 260 LeBron James to eat that
to
and
eat
be
that food.
no
Yeah.
way.
I saw Myers Leonard posted his Mickey Mouse waffles on
His
Twitter.
Mickey Mouse
Mickey
waffle.
I
Mouse
can't lie.
waffles.
Those are good.
Hey,
they
I
were-
bet them
I can't
slap.
lie, Those
Yeah,
are good.
those slap.
Yeah, but I mean, those guys getting paid millions of dollars a year.
They have so much. They have too much money to be feeding those guys.
Yeah,
I agree.
little kid snacks.
Let them
Yeah.
buy their own food if you're stretching for money that much. Let them.
Let them order
the
a Papa
fine,
John's.
the fine for getting out of the bubble is $750,000. Some of these kids or guys,
Kids.
yeah, some of these guys, that's pocket change to them.
Yeah.
So
True.
I want to see who the first one to step out of the bubble would
Bold
be.
take. Russell Westbrook's leaving that thing.
I'm gonna
He's
say Embiid because he's an idiot.
Oh yeah,
so.
Embiid is a good. That's a
Embiid's
good
an
one.
idiot.
Idiot.
You know, J.R. Smith could be the first one. He could-
Yeah.
He just got signed.
Oh yeah, he's. Yeah.
He doesn't
All right. Well,
He doesn't care.
on to
Alright,
the
he doesn't
actual
care.
On to
basketball
actual
take.
basketball.
Yeah.
We're gonna do our NBA predictions in this episode. So, what do y'all want to start with? You want to start with like?
I'm going to start with my Western Conference Finals. So not the
Okay.
actual finals, the Western Conference Finals. I'm pretty generic on this one.
Okay.
I got the Lakers and the Clippers.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now I'm going to go ahead and give you who's winning that. Lakers all the way. Lakers are winning the whole thing. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. I might be spooling it, but I don't even care. Lakers winning the whole thing. LeBron's the best player to ever touch basketball. That's a debate for another day. But Lakers all the way. And y'all can go ahead and give y'all's Western
All right.
Conference Finals.
Real quick, who gets the 8th seed in the West? Who cares in the East? Because the Nets and Wizards are terrible.
I'm
Who
gonna
gets
say-
the 8th seed
I'm
in the
gonna say
West? Just
Probably the Pelicans.
Pelicans.
I think the
You know
Pelicans.
what? I don't say Pelicans. I think the Grizzlies.
I think the
think-
Grizzlies keep it.
It,
Who's at 7 right now?
7's the Mavericks they're in. They've won 40 games.
Okay.
8's the Grizzlies at 32. Trailblazers have 29. Pelicans have 28. Kings have
So
28.
they're what 4 games behind the Grizzlies or 3?
3.5?
3.5. That'll be tough.
And then you
in 8
got
games.
Spurs
Yeah.
27, Suns 26. The Suns are
Yeah.
pretty much the only
The
team.
Pelicans.
Kings
like,
and Suns should both be out if we're being honest.
I don't
Yeah.
like the Spurs. I don't like.
I don't like the
No, I
Spurs,
like the
but you have to
Spurs.
mention them because
Spurs have a streak going on too.
20 years or something
Yeah.
crazy.
Make the playoffs 20 straight
I-
years. They
I
also
do
don't.
think-
They also don't have LaMarcus Aldridge. I don't
They
see them.
don't.
They also
Yeah,
have
I
a
forgot
DeMar
about that.
DeRozan everyone's forgotten about. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's
I think Ja and Zion are both trying to prove themselves a lot.
Mhm.
I think it's one of those two teams just because I think both of them go crazy.
You have to at least mention Portland, I think,
Yeah, because Dame does his
Dame.
thing.
and they've got Yusuf back.
Mhm.
Ooh, they do have you.
That's probably the best
they might sneak a spot.
team, I'd say.
I think the Pelicans would give a better look to the Lakers than
But
the Blazers would.
I'd rather it be the Grizzlies or Pelicans, if I'm being
Yeah.
completely honest, just to see one of them match
That
up
would
against
also make
LeBron.
better television.
I mean,
The
Zion's gonna
West
get the
is
most
loaded,
ratings,
son.
Yeah.
but I'm a Ja fan. So, all right, on to my Western Conference prediction. I also am really basic on this. I have the Clippers and Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. I don't see a team beating the Lakers as a LeBron stan. I think they win the West, but the Clippers have actual issues that nobody seems to mention. They lack a playmaker at point guard. They lack playmaking anywhere on the court. Their best 2 players are 3 and D. Nothing against them. That's just not what they do.
Yeah, they're both obviously great players.
Incredible, yeah. Kawhi's obviously top 5 in the league, no question. Top 4, saying KD doesn't count.
I agree. Yeah, he's definitely up there. And then Paul George does his thing too. But
Yeah.
Not this year. Really.
And
Yeah,
also
that's
they
true.
lack,
He hasn't even been that good this year.
no, he's been hurt a lot.
He's been.
Yeah.
He's also rested.
They
That
lack rim
might
protection
help.
really badly. Montrezl Harrell, pretty good basketball player, 6'7". He's not touching Anthony Davis or Nikola Jokic.
Also, like the load management thing was going to be an advantage. Well, now everyone's load managed.
That is true. I
So
didn't
like,
think
is it
about
even?
that.
It wasn't
It
even an
doesn't matter.
advantage
It was
now.
for
Like
nothing.
everyone's low. Yeah, everyone. LeBron is in good a shape as he's been. He is ready to go. Rondo and Caruso, them dudes are swole
Caruso's
now.
ready.
Those dudes are swole now.
See, I really want to pick somebody to beat the Clippers because I don't like that team that much. I think they're a bit overrated with no playmaking and lack of rim protection. I just don't know what team it would be.
I don't think the Nug. I
I don't
think
like the
Nikola
Nuggets
Jokic
that-
losing all that weight could hurt him a little bit.
It could hurt him.
Just
I
because
agree
he
with
can't,
that.
he's gonna
He'll
be
be
weak.
quicker.
Yeah.
But that's never been his thing anyway.
He also had
right?
Rona, so who knows how that might affect him.
Yep. All right.
The
Penny?
Jazz are about to beat each other. Like they hate each other now.
Yeah, that's chemistry's gone.
I like the Thunder and I like the Mavericks. I just think those teams are too young, so I'm just
I
gonna give it
agree.
to the Clippers to get there, and then the Lakers.
Penny,
Lakers
what-
in 3.
Penny, what you thinking?
Well, if last year's taught me anything, it's to never bet against Kawhi ever.
I
So
agree.
that is going to be my Western Conference pick is the Clippers.
You
Little
got it?
generic, little on the generic
Who-
side, but
Who you got competing with them? Who you got in the Western Conference? Do you have the Lakers getting beat or?
no, I'm gonna be a realist. No, they're not gonna lose to anyone until
real
they see
quick.
the Clippers.
Avery Bradley not playing. How much does that actually affect them?
More minutes for Caruso. That's all I'm saying. doesn't affect.
Jack,
him
you
that
got an
much.
opinion?
More
He's
minutes
former
for
Celtic.
J.R. Smith.
Don't get me wrong, he's useful, but I don't think he's going to be that big of a loss. Getting Dwight Howard, making sure he's going to be there was a
Bigger
big
deal.
Yeah,
You
so
see,
way
you got
bigger.
waiters can take those minutes.
Yeah,
Caruso
they
can
have
take those
guards who
minutes.
can.
I don't think they can give minutes to Howard, McGee, and Davis. That's just like come playoff time, you got to put the best players on the court.
That means
I'm not
McGee.
saying Dwight Howard's washed.
No,
but,
that means
like,
McGee's out, in my opinion.
Yeah, like I'm not saying either of them guys are bad players because they're obviously good, but I don't know about it. Like I think the best thing for the Lakers is to just have one backup center.
I think I've maybe just play like 7 or 8 guys.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
the best for them.
Come playoff time, like 8 to 9 guys is all you really need.
Good thing for them, they get to play the Grizzlies or Pelicans or Trailblazers or one of those teams
They got to
where
sweep
they can
the first round.
they can test out which one of
lineups,
those
yeah.
wing guys are going to play. Like, is KCP going to get a
agree.
lot of minutes? Because we know Danny Green is. Danny Green's set.
Mhm.
But, like, KCP, Deion Waiters, are those? Which one of those guys is going to step up?
Agreed. All right, what you thinking, Heron?
All right, I'm gonna break it down like this. LeBron James ain't coming out the West.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it now.
That's
The
what-
two
that's what
guys.
all Celtics fans say.
No,
You know what he
it
did?
ain't even about that. It's
Mm.
about this. The two guys that have always given LeBron James trouble is Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Even though Paul George has never beaten LeBron in a playoff series,
what
he is the
Silver
one for the
troubles that.
Pacers that has given him problems. And I think them both on the same team, both of them rested up, good to go, with Doc Rivers as a coach, who honestly he beat LeBron pretty good, but he also got beat by LeBron a couple times in Boston. I really think they have the best shot to win in the West. And it's not even about I hate LeBron and all that. I really think that they just have the best shot to win in the West. So I think I will take the Clippers as the first team coming out, and then the team that they play in the championship, depending on the seeds. So if I'm gonna say the Rockets, if the Rockets come out and they have to play
If
the
the
Lakers,
Rockets don't play the Clippers, is what you're saying.
if they don't play the Clippers,
That ISO
I'm gonna take the
ball.
Rockets. Yeah, and I really think the ISO ball might help them. Like
I do agree with that.
It has never
should.
once helped them at all. Never. Come playoff time, I mean James Harden is just a god awful basketball player.
Oh, don't act like Westbrook's that great in the playoffs.
I will take Westbrook in the playoff more than James Harden.
Oh, I agree.
I would too.
But I don't think either one of them.
And this
been
is
good.
like if you look at Russell Westbrook's stats this year, historically this is his best year. Other than honestly, 31
Recent-
points
oh,
a
yeah,
game,
it is, yeah.
8 assists
before
and 7
Rona hit,
rebounds.
Dude was actually hooping.
No.
He was getting like 30 a game on 50+% from the field.
because
wasn't
he
shooting
stopped
many
stopped
threes.
shooting threes. I mean, he historically was his best season, and he was playing an MVP caliber ball, which I'm not saying he's going to win MVP.
Which he didn't do all year. He did not do
No,
that.
he
all
started off a
season.
little slow.
because Harden was taking.
Them past couple
Four
and
months,
hundred
because
shots a
Capello was in the
them
paint.
yeah, them past
yes,
them
that
past
was a
couple
big
years,
deal getting rid of him.
or these past couple months, when they were playing Capello, Capello was gone. They were playing that small ball. They were a better team. Like it's
I agree.
weird. It's weird to even say that. You get smaller, you get less physical, but you perform better. So I don't know. I think people are talking about who's going to guard Anthony Davis, who's going to guard that. No one can guard Anthony Davis. So let's just get that out of the picture. No one can guard LeBron James. Let's get that out of the picture. I think they can provide mismatches around the court enough to compete with the Clippers and the Lakers. So I'm going to take the Rockets and the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals, and honestly, let Kawhi and PG duke it out with Russ and James and see who wins. So I'm going to go the Clippers out of the West.
I don't completely hate it, but
I will-
you're disrespecting the GOAT.
That is disrespectful. It's super.
I'm not
disrespectful.
disrespecting Michael Jordan.
However, I actually think the Rockets match up super well with the Clippers. Given that, look at the Clippers' big men.
because they're small too, but they're like
Exactly.
not trying to be
Yeah.
small.
Yeah, they just have Ivica Zubac.
So it's like
playing
that means
center.
like Montrez is like not being a physical presence in a good way. Like he's just like I don't know. He's a smaller, slower version of.
Yeah.
In my
you
opinion,
know.
out of the three teams that we just named, the Rockets, Clippers, and Lakers, I really think the Clippers have the coaching advantage. And I mean, that's not saying much. Like, okay,
That's
like
not a
D'Antoni,
question, I don't think.
not a great defensive coach. Clearly, he's an offensive-minded guy. But in the playoffs, you need to play a lick of defense. You need to play some.
Right.
And the Lakers, we don't know about Vogel. I mean,
Vogel's
he's been,
decent.
yeah.
He was the coach for those Paul George Indiana
Yeah,
teams.
he was solid. So I don't know.
They got
I'm gonna
Jason
take Doc.
Kidd
I'm gonna
over
take
there,
Doc
too, don't
Rivers.
forget.
What'd you say?
They got Jason Kidd over there too. Don't forget.
Is he kid Bitcher can be a bit delusional at times, but I mean he's a good
Yeah,
basketball
like he
mind.
knows basketball. But
All right,
all right, let's head on to the East. Reese, let's see what you got.
I ain't got to say too much. Y'all know who's coming out of the East. Milwaukee all the way, not close. Might sweep every series till they get there. Honestly,
Penny, what do you think about Chris Middleton not touching a basketball
yeah.
until like this week?
I can tell you from experience, shooters don't lose the shot. They don't. I mean,
See, that's my thing about Chris Middleton not touching the basketball. Is like he doesn't touch it in the game unless Giannis passes it to him.
Here's the thing about Chris Middleton. Let's not forget that he underperformed last year.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
this year he hasn't touched a basketball, so he's got all that pressure. They're supposed to be the best team in the East, and he hasn't even touched a basketball.
But they don't play Kawhi this year.
my boy pulled
That's a
through.
good point. But you know who they do play? The Celtics. I like the Celtics this year, but that's
All right,
back to Penny. Back to Penny.
I think the Celtics get there. Depending on seeding, I think they make it to the championship, and then I'll say it goes 6. It goes 6.
Penny, I got a question for you about the Bucks. Do you like Eric Bledsoe?
I do, but George Hill this year, George Hill has played so much better.
Absolutely.
But I don't know how the chemistry goes if we bench Eric Bledsoe because I mean it's worked obviously this year.
George Hill's a playoff player. I mean, he's a vet.
He's just a player. He's
Yeah.
a player.
Yeah, he's
That's
a
what he
player.
is.
See, I think their backcourt this year's much improved with George Hill and David Shinzo.
Right.
David Chinjo's
I agree.
I think that's a better backcourt.
He's
than
got
whatever
all
they were
the
last year.
intangibles.
Speaking of intangibles, Cog, go in with your Celtics and Jason Tatum.
Okay, so Celtics, normally I'm a Celtics hater, brah. I don't even like the Celtics like that, but I do like how they're looking right now. Jason Tatum, legit young player. Jaylen Brown, my boy J5's favorite player in the whole league,
Yes, sir.
looking good. Kimba, he's played in the playoffs. They may not been good, but he has played in the playoffs. He is a better fit than Kyrie. Kyrie's obviously a better player.
Garbage.
Yeah, okay, well, all right.
Terrible human
But
being.
that's why I like the Celtics. I do wish they had a better big man. That's the one thing. If they have a better big man, I think they run away with the East.
Oh, I agree.
But they just don't. And, we can't just give them a big man. So I think that they are still probably the best team in the East at the moment, especially considering Chris Middleton hasn't touched the basketball. I think we all agree with the Raptors not being good. I think we all agree with that. Obviously they're a good team, but they're not competing for a championship.
They're a semifinal team. I
Yeah,
think.
and then my other take about the East, I really like the Heat. I don't know what it is about them. I like the Heat. Tyler Hero, bro, he's gonna come in clutch in the playoffs. He's gonna step up, be a player. Kendrick Nunn, balling like Kendrick Nunn, bro. You already know.
21.
You already know Kendrick Nunn getting his buckets. Jimmy Butler, he's fit way better there than he did in Philly. And I think that showed. And then my big hater team, I hate Philly right now. I just don't like Philly.
Hey, don't forget about Duncan Robinson though.
Hey,
From
Duncan,
Michigan
shoot that
alum.
thing. Oh yeah, Duncan's nasty. And then also an all-star center. I mean, Bam.
Oh,
Bam,
we didn't even mention.
Yeah, Bam's probably the second best player on the team, almost first best. He's.
It's 1A, 1B.
Yeah.
Even Jimmy said that.
Yeah, Bam's.
Like,
I
Jimmy's
think
the
that's a
guy
good
in that
team.
locker room. But
The only thing about the Heat though is just the seeding, where they end up.
yeah, do they play the Bucks in round 2?
But here's the thing: I kind of like them against the Bucks. I like
Bam,
Bam against
Jimmy.
Yeah, I like Bam and Jimmy against Giannis because those two are both very good. Bam's a good center matchup for him. If you have to, he's a good guy to go on him. So that's my Heat take. I'm not saying they're gonna win it, but I like the Heat.
So who you got in the East?
I think the Celtics come out the East, and then LeBron does his thing against the Celtics like he always does. That's all I'm saying.
All right, Aaron.
Man, you know the vibes, man. It's Boston Celtics season all the way. It's Jason Tatum. It's Jaylen Brown. It's Brad Stevens. It might just be too easy at this point. Honestly, if Jason
start
Tatum,
that, we ain't gonna start that. you know what happened last year? We ain't gonna start this.
Okay,
It was
okay.
y'all were a pushover team last year.
Yeah, we were terrible last year.
We
I don't
moonwalked
care.
on y'all. Y'all was a pushover.
Okay, we got that boy Jason Tatum.
you
Yeah,
had him last
Jason
year.
Tatum.
You had him last year too.
Jason Tatum finally hit his stride this year, playing up to superstar capability.
Just like Westbrook, heated up right at the end.
yeah, like post All-Star, Tatum's averaging 33 points a game.
If he don't
And-
get rid of that haircut, though. Ooh.
Is what it is. But Tatum for the most part, man, he was balling. I think as a number one option under Brad Stevens. I think, and he's already had that playoff experience anyway. So I got Boston playing Milwaukee, beat him in 3 maybe. 2 or 3, I don't know.
All right.
I think they got him in 6 or 7. It'll be a tough series because Giannis against Boston is
He's
literally
gonna get his
literally
bug.
like
He's gonna
it's
get
literally
his.
LeBron against Boston.
Because
It's the same.
Nobody's guarding Giannis from
No.
the Celtics.
Well, no one's guarding Giannis in the league.
That's true, but
it's whatever.
There's guys who can give him a little competition.
Yeah, but I think it comes down to the point where it's Brad Stevens over any coach besides Budenholzer for the Bucks
Bude's
pretty
good.
good. I mean he's got
Nurse is good.
Yeah, Nick Nurse is really good too. But I think when it comes down to it, Stevens has had that playoff experience. He's still yet to get to that title game, so I think that may hurt him a little bit. But then again, I think he's really got a young team that can compete, and he's got Kemba Walker now. So I really like Kemba's fit in Boston.
He is
being
used
that
to
second
losing
or
in
third
title
string.
games, though, isn't he?
Do what?
Stevens is used to losing in title games, isn't he?
Reese, he's used to losing all the time in the playoffs, so I don't really care. If Stevens can get us there, I think Celtics versus Lakers would be a show to watch. I think it'd be really cool. I don't know the outcome of it. No one does.
The two biggest,
Biggest rivalry.
Yeah, absolutely. But
I
I
haven't
got
seen it in
Boston
forever.
for sure.
Think about this, though, real quick. What is Brad Stevens' record when Gordon Hayward is on his team in championship games? What's his record?
He's 0-1.
Thank you.
Is what it is.
Rest
man.
my case.
All right, I'm
what
ready
it
for
is.
my East. I'm going to start with the Raptors because nobody really mentioned them, which I think they lose round 2. I don't care who they play. My issue with them, I mean, they're a good regular season team. Say they do get to the conference finals, Siakam's their best player, and he's matched up against Giannis. That doesn't work. That's an L right there. Just based off that alone, that's not happening because those two teams are really similarly built, and Giannis is just so much better than Siakam. You guys already hit on a lot of the Celtics and Bucks, so I'm not really going to do that. I'm going to talk about the Sixers and why they're bad real quick, why they're not doing anything in the playoffs. No floor spacing for Ben Simmons. Trade Embiid. It's time for that.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Get him out.
Signing Al Horford is still hilarious to literally get him out of Boston. That was the only reason they did that, and that doesn't fit. Elton Brand just doesn't seem to know how to build a basketball team.
He just likes those big names.
He just gets big names and pays them a bunch of money.
And he paid Tobias. Tobias is a great player. I don't really like him.
To have so much talent, the fit for every single basketball player on the team is just
And literally one of the worst
Brett
coaches in
Brown
the
is.
East.
I think this guy over here I'm looking at right now, Andrew Melton,
Our producer
our
and
producer,
manager.
And
Would be a-
mathematician.
would be a better coach than Brett Brown. I got a bold take for the East though. Everybody else said Bucks or Celtics. I got the Heat.
Hey,
Which
boy.
Cog hit on this a lot. Their fit against Giannis's Bucks is really good. And I think that Giannis just doesn't have a number 2 guy to go get his buckets. Like
And Giannis is still going to get his. We're not
Giannis is going to
saying
get
that.
30 a game. I'm not worried
Yeah.
about that. I'm not discrediting
But someone
Giannis.
else has got to get like 20, and I just don't think that happens. Yeah, I'm not huge on the Bucks.
And I really like the Heat. They have so much shooting on that basketball team. And I don't think we mentioned Goran Dragic earlier.
Oh yeah, Gordon's a hooper.
I mean, he's just another decent basketball
He's
player
a
they
veteran.
got. But, I think Jimmy. I don't love Jimmy, but I think he steps up.
That's also like this is my favorite Jimmy. by
Yeah,
far.
Jimmy hasn't been the guy like that since he was the best player for the Sixers in the playoffs last year.
Oh yeah.
He was. He hasn't been the guy like that since Minnesota, and they were the 4 seed in the West before he got hurt. He gets hurt, they fall down a cliff. I'm excited to see some playoff Jimmy.
Hey, and the vibes in Miami, like their fan base, their team, they're just different.
They should go vice jerseys all playoffs, in my opinion.
Yeah, straight up vice.
That's a bold take. I'm gonna run with it though. I like Jimmy. I like Bam. I like Hero. I like Duncan a lot. I like that
Agreed.
team a lot.
Moral of the story though, Bron in 3. Not
Oh,
even
yeah.
Lakers.
Bron in 3
bruh. Bron
Against
in
any
3.
of these teams.
And that's all I'm saying. And Kendrick Nunn's hooping.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree with y'all. But anyway, we're gonna wrap this
Clippers in
episode up.
7.
We all have different.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Oh yeah,
you said
let's
Clippers?
get.
I said
Not
Clippers
everybody
in
gave
7.
their.
Okay.
their-
Yeah, that's fair. Before we wrap it up,
NBA champions.
NBA champion, Cog.
I just said, bro. Lakers.
Give what you got.
Legitimately, I think the Lakers in 5. I think the Heat still won. That team fits well against the Lakers too. You talk Bam on AD, Jimmy on LeBron. They win 1, but LeBron and Anthony Davis is so much better than Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. Lakers in 5.
Reese, what you got
Clippers in 7.
against the Bucks?
I can't bet against Kawhi ever again in my life. He's destroyed me last year. He'll do it again if I do.
I do agree. Like, if the Clippers and Bucks did make it, the Clippers are definitely winning because of Kawhi. He is probably the best matchup in the league.
He's
for
cursed
Giannis.
us. We're cursed.
Yeah,
against
like-
Kawhi.
If I didn't have a $50 bet on my NBA champion, probably would say the Clippers, but I'm gonna
Run
go
with
Celtics. I'm gonna go
Boston,
Celtics.
Run
in
with
6,
Boston.
Man. Yeah, I'm gonna go Celtics with 6.
This ain't the year.
Hey,
Boston's
Tate-
2-0 against LA this year.
Who's
Why
who's
not?
getting the MVP though? Like the
Finals
final
MVP?
Tatum's
No.
getting it.
No,
No,
I'm
no,
having
no.
a dark horse, bro.
Say
Jaylen
it.
Brown.
Yes,
Jaylen
sir.
Brown's got
Talk
it.
to him
baby.
nice.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown's got it for sure. But I'm gonna go
Just a
Celtics in
round
6.
Of, just a round of dumb takes is what we're doing.
I got Celtics in 6. Reese got the Clippers in 7. Cox got Lakers in
obviously,
3.
If the Clippers win Kawhi, there's
Gibbs
no way
got
he's
Lakers
not
in
Finals
5.
MVP.
Realistically, I got Lakers in 6 because I mean,
I feel that.
obviously,
I feel that.
we're joking when we say Lakers. In
Yeah,
2.
yeah, I feel that. But anyway, we got 2 Lakers. We got a Clip.